Today we're gonna be talking about soup making. That's right, this simple little thing called soups. Now actually, if I ask you the question, do you know how to make your own soup from scratch? The answer a lot of time is no, because we're used to buy these things in the supermarket. So today I'm gonna share with you the technique on how to make a French soup. Today we're covering the potato leek and cream soup. Very simple, but very handy and delicious. So let's have a look. So we want to make a soup. The first thing is, what ingredients do we need? Today we're making a leek and potato soup. So as you can see, these are all the ingredients we're going to be using. Organic potato, leek, flat leaf parsley, butter, rock salt, a half a liter of vegetable stock and a half a liter of water, and my lovely thing here, the double cream. Cannot do without that lovely cream. This is really what we love in France. So let's look at the process on how to make a proper soup. All right, so let's get started. So quick reminder, anytime you start working with veg and anything, the process is you first wash, peel and prepare your vegetable before you start your recipe. So in no particular order, you start with the leek. We've got a video already on how to prepare it. I've washed it, and you're gonna just mince your leek like this. Okay, when it's done, you reserve it on a clean container on the side. Next, you cut your potatoes in quarters. This is going to be cooking for 30 minutes. So you take your potato, you can cut it in half like this, then in half again. And when we say quarters, you take basically kind of little chunks. When it's done, you put them in water. Always remember to keep potatoes in cold water. That's very important. When this is done, you do your rest of your potatoes and you set them aside. All right, so back on the stove, the first thing for your soup, you're gonna use a low to medium heat. I'm taking a little, it's actually a stock pot, but it's very handy for soup. First step, you're gonna use your butter. And you're going to let it melt in your pan. When your butter is all melted like that and it's a bit foamy, immediately you take your leeks and you pour them in. We're going to make the leek, we're going to make them sweat. And this is the process of removing the excess of water in the leeks. Okay, so you make sure you stir well, that there is butter everywhere. You put your heat on very low because you don't want to color anything. You want to keep everything very, very white. When it's nice and translucent, you can leave it there for just a few minutes. All right, so after a few minutes, this is what you get. You see that nice kind of, it's glazed, it's very shiny. I've got that nice color from the leek, but they're not cooked. You're not cooking the leek at this stage. So they're nice and beautiful, and already you can pour in your liquid. So I'm gonna add my half a liter of stock plus my half liter of water. Okay, I'm gonna put my fire a bit higher. All right. And when this is in, I'm just gonna add my potatoes. Okay, here are my potatoes. You put everything in. So of course you remove the water that you had the potatoes in. You put your potatoes with your leeks. Very, very simple. And now you can add some rock salt. Don't use the small salt because this is much more concentrated and it's for long cooking. So add a decent amount of salt, not too much though. And you're gonna leave your fire here on a medium heat. You're gonna cover your pan and leave it to cook very gently until the potatoes are actually cooked. Okay, I'm halfway through. Opening my lid, I'm gonna try to fish out one piece of potato. Take your fork, if your fork goes in, very easily it's cooked. Now, you can see it's a bit white in the middle. I don't know if you can see here, a bit of too much white here, it's not cooked yet. Put it back, leave it another 10 minutes. All right, let's check again. Pretty sure it's been cooked. It's been 25 minutes. I'm gonna take a potato here. Oh yeah, you see they're falling apart. So basically that means that it's cooked. Perfect. Now as you can see, I've made some croutons here on the side that I'm gonna serve with it. Next step, I'm gonna take my soup off the heat. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna reserve it in a cold container on the bench, and I'm gonna blend the mix. Okay, so I'm using a hand blender. You can use your home blender if you want. You've all done this. You basically regulate your speed, make sure everything is nicely mixed. So you continue doing this until every single bit of potato is totally mashed by the mixer. Now, when you finish blending, you got your mix here. You take your old pan, you clean it, take a sieve, and you pour your mix inside your container, making sure you sieve everything to retain all of the bits. So you mix it with your hand, with a spoon, and you repeat the process until it's done. Okay, done. Now when you removed all of the unwanted bits, you get a very clear and pristine type of soup. At this stage, you're gonna put your heat back on a medium to high heat, because the temperature of your soup has dropped considerably, and we're gonna bring it back to the boil. And while we're waiting for that, you take your cream, which is 20 centiliters of beautiful double cream that you add to your soup. This is my favorite part. I love cream. All right, so the first boils appear here, and that's it. You put the heat off, and this is done. It is only now that if you want, you can add a little bit of pepper. So I add a tiny bit of black pepper, and that's it. Your soup is now ready. And this is the consistency you should have, is something nice and creamy. So I'm gonna reserve it and try to dress it up for you for the final shot. And that's it, all done. If you're wondering what the parsley was for, it was actually just to decorate a little bit. But if you want, you can chop some parsley and also serve it individually on the plate. So the way you serve this lovely soup, you take a bowl, pour some soup, and you add some freshly made croutons on top. Et voilà. So bon appétit, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.